Hi there, I'm Denise with thisismyeverybody.com, and today we have an introduction to simple living, starting with a complete best books list featuring 25 minimalist books that's going to provide you simple living tips whether you're interested in simplifying your life one step at a time or you want to dive into a full life and home makeover. It's completely up to you. So, are you ready to go? Where do I start? This is what I asked myself a few months ago when I became so overwhelmed with and exhausted by the constant state of my life and home that for year after year after year was just continuing to be filled with just too much stuff. Too many unfinished projects, too many tasks, being pulled in too many directions, and the subsequent burden all of it was taking on my pocketbook, my state of mind, and my schedule to manage all of it. So what did I want? It was pretty simple. I just wanted to simplify my life. So I started to ask questions about simple living, and in particular, what would simple living look like for me? And a new word popped up for me called minimalism. So what is minimalism? Simply put, minimalism is simply living with less stuff. It could be less physical stuff, like material possessions and the burden that clutter creates in our life and home. It could also be less mental stuff, like jam-packed schedules and the stress and overwhelm that also creates in our life and home. And then creating and filling that new space with more experiences, things that matter most to you. Basically going from too much stuff to less stuff, going from managing a lot of stuff to actually looking at those things and determining what of those things are the most important things to you. And whether it's material things or time commitments, that true freedom from the excess of both material things and an overextended schedule, well, that was starting to look like a really good way to live to me. Oh yeah. Transitioning to a new minimalist lifestyle, or really any new lifestyle in your life, is always a big decision to make, even if you've decided that you're just going to look at one area of your life, if you're just going to take it one step at a time. So we're back to that same question again. Where do I start? Well, you guys know what a fan I am of looking and starting with a book so that you can take a test drive of something, a new choice in your life and home before you actually decide to go with it. And I knew that was going to be a great place to start here too. So I put together a list of 25 best books on minimalism worth reading, all to support you so that you can make your search quick and easy and simply a dream. And if learning more about simple living sounds good to you, then make sure you keep watching my video all the way through to the end, because I have a free gift especially for you to support you in your journey towards simple living. Also, I'm going to be giving away a copy of one of the books that we're going to be talking about here today, so stay tuned. And let's get started with talking about the books. I've organized this book list into categories, and you're going to find a complete list of those category chapter timestamps in my video description below, so that you can always come back to this video anytime in the future and go right to the section that talks about the books for the specific simple living topic that you're looking for in a snap. A great first book is to start with a step-by-step guide that provides a practical minimalist living guide for simple living. And so our first category is going to be minimalism lifestyle and minimalistic life, living on a whole new level with a minimalist mindset. Wow, that is quite a mouthful, isn't it? So I tell you what, let's simplify that. Basically, we're talking about the what, the how, and the why. Sound better? Starting with Love People, Use Things, Because the Opposite Never Works by Joshua Fields Millburn and Ryan Nicodemus. Now this book is going to move past things like simple decluttering methods and focus on what minimalism really makes room for in our lives and homes. Things like reevaluating and even healing some of the essential relationships of our life. The More of Less, Finding the Life You Want Under Everything You Own by Joshua Becker. With a practical approach, this book is going to offer you suggestions and encouragement to really find the minimalist lifestyle and style that is perfect for you. And it's going to show you why minimizing possessions is going to be a great way to maximize your life. Goodbye Things, The New Japanese Minimalism by Fumio Sasaki. You're going to read about his personal minimalist experience as well as get some tips on the minimizing process itself. But the book really shines in focusing on how minimalism can not only transform your space, but also enrich your life too as well. Our next category is going to be minimalist memoirs, where we're actually going to explore some real life examples of people who went all in on a minimalist journey. The first book is Minimalism, Live a Meaningful Life, again by Joshua Fields Millburn and Ryan Nicodemus. These two best friends decided at age 30 that they were going to walk away from their six-figure corporate careers and started focusing on what is truly important in their lives to them. The Year of Less, How I Stopped Shopping, Gave Away My Belongings, and Discovered Life is Worth More Than Anything You Can Buy in a Store by Kate Flanders. That's a mouthful of a topic, but it is really a fascinating story. This author in her late 20s decided that she was going to set herself up for a challenge. She was not going to shop for an entire year. I can't wait to read this one, and it's called The Year of Less by Kate Flanders. Our next category is Becoming a Minimalist. This is where we have books that focus mostly on those first steps, one step at a time. And that reminds me, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel because my next video is going to be focused on those first steps of becoming a minimalist. And I'm going to give you 5 easy tips for simple living. So let's take a peek now at the books for becoming a minimalist. Hello Habits, A Minimalist Guide to a Better Life by Fumio Sasaki. This one's going to focus on acquiring new habits that we want and letting go of those habits that are no longer serving us. Then moving on, once we have those new habits, to what is absolutely essential in our lives, we have Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown. Again, we're going to discern what is absolutely essential and then eliminate anything and everything that is not. And then moving on to Minimalism Room by Room, A Customized Plan to Declutter Your Home and Simplify Your Life by Elizabeth Enright Phillips. Now Elizabeth is going to give us easy, actionable strategies so that you can save both time and money and get on the path to living simpler. And this author's biggest tip is to take a deep breath because it's time to start sorting. Then we move to Zero Waste Home, The Ultimate Guide to Simplifying Your Life by Reducing Your Waste by B. Johnson. Now this is going to be that step-by-step guide that is going to give you those practical tools that not only is going to improve your health, but is also going to save you time and money. For our next category, we're moving to Decluttering Your Life, Practical Ways to Maintain a Clean House. Now this is probably the #1 focus area that you think of when you think of simple living and minimalism. And we're starting with The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing, written by the well-known Japanese cleaning consultant Marie Kondo. Now this book is often considered the go-to book for starting your minimalist journey, and it's focused on Marie Kondo's KonMari method. You're going to get detailed guidance on determining which items in your life spark joy and which ones do not. And bonus, this also has inspired a Netflix documentary series, so you can read it and you can watch it too. Then we move to Marie Kondo's other book called Spark Joy, which is an illustrated masterclass on the art of organizing and tidying up, again by Marie Kondo. This one is going to be step-by-step folding instructions, everything from folding shirts and socks to beautiful drawings of beautifully organized drawers and closets. Very inspirational. The Joy of Less, A Minimalist Guide to Declutter, Organize, and Simplify by Francine J. Now this one really speaks to me because if you're one of those people that would just wish a big force of wind would just like blow through your house and blow everything away so that you could just start from scratch, well, then this is going to be the fun, light-hearted, minimalist guide that you've been looking for. And I have a feeling we're going to be coming back to this book several times here on our minimalist journey. Simply Clean, the proven method for keeping your home organized, clean, and beautiful in just 10 minutes a day by Becky Rappenchuk. A step-by-step guide and schedule for how you can tidy your home in just 10 minutes a day. This should be my Bible. And Becky, sign me up. Yeah. Okay, we've hit that halfway point in our book list, and we're also halfway through that biggest focus area of decluttering your life. So with these next 4 books, I'm going to give you just a little more encouragement with a little inspiration with each book. So the first one is to help us get inspired, and that is The Minimalist Home, a room-by-room guide to a decluttered, refocused life by Joshua Becker. Now this one is going to take us on a decluttering tour of homes and apartments and help you show what you can get rid of and what the outcome could actually look like. Then let's get specific with The Home Edit Life, the no-guilt guide to owning what you want and organizing everything by Clea Scherer and Joanna Teplin. Now this one is going to have you doing very specific decluttering tasks like corralling phone cords or archiving old photos or arranging your phone apps by color or even packing a suitcase like a pro. Very specific. Then let's get creative with Beautifully Organized, a guide to function and style in your home by Nikki Boyd. This one is so much more than a home organization book. It is an absolute recipe for a beautiful, organized life. And then let's get fierce with Declutter Like a Mother by Ali Kazaza. It just came out September the 7th, 2021, showing us how to ensure that our house is working for us and not against us. You're going to show that house who's boss. Get fierce with Declutter Like a Mother. Then we move to one of the most beautiful categories we're talking about, which is minimalist home ideas, and also one of the most personal categories because it really explores making the most of what matters most to you. Our first one is really going to bust that myth of what simple living may look like to you, that it's maybe only living small. And our first book is going to be about living large, which is Small Space Style, because you don't need to live large to live beautifully by Whitney Lee Morris. This one features more than 200 tips for making the most of a small home. This one's an incredibly inspirational guide for living large in compact quarters. I love this book. It lives forever on my bedside table to inspire my dreams every night. Then we're going to move on to Living Simply, and that's with Simply Living Well, a guide to creating a natural, low-waste home by Julia Watkins. We're going to look at rituals and recipes and projects, all to help us sustainably and simply live our lives and homes. Then we're going to move into what would that living style look like that's personal to you with Cozy Minimalist Home, More Style, Less Stuff by Michaelyn Smith, helping us to develop a mindset that helps you get whatever living style you love with the fewest possible items. And then we ask ourselves, so what is the perfect amount of everything? And that takes us to Minimalista, your step-by-step guide to a better home, wardrobe, and life by Shira Gill. This one is a new book coming out on October the 12th, 2021, and it does focus on what it looks like to have the perfect amount of everything, but making sure that's the perfect amount for you based on your personal values and your space. Of course, this category would not be complete without nurturing that emotional connection that our home really develops within us, and that is Feels Like Home, Relaxed Interiors for a Meaningful Life by Lauren Lease. This one again is a new book that's coming out on October the 19th, 2021, and it really focuses on that emotional connection between the way we decorate our homes and our daily lives. It really shows how design can inform an intentional, a happy, and authentic life. Minimalist Office Ideas, remembering happy office, happy life. And our book here is Beautifully Organized at Work. Bring order and joy to your work life so you can stay calm, relieve stress, and get more done each day by Nikki Boyd. This one is going to give us practical steps and tips and tools for how to mindfully transform our workspace. Minimalist Seasonal Decor for minimalist holiday decor and decorating. This is one of those areas that can often be a tough challenge because we have these seasonal decorations that we keep and have to store all year round, and we're only using them for like maybe 4 weeks out of the year or less. Our book here is Welcome Home, a cozy minimalist guide to decorating and hosting all year round by Michaelyn Smith. She's going to focus on something that's bigger than the latest and greatest trends, but how to usher in the seasons without using more resources, more money, or even more time than is absolutely needed. Minimalist Technology and Social Media. Our book is Digital Minimalism, Choosing a Focused Life in a Noisy World by Cal Newport, showing us how we can use technology to support our goals rather than letting technology use us. Wow, that's quite a list, isn't it? But don't worry, I've got you covered. I have a free journal download for you as a free gift with a list of all of the best books on minimalism that we explored today. Also that you can start your own simple living workbook and resource guide for your own reference. Plus, my October 2021 book giveaway book is going to be one of today's books, which is Love People, Use Things by Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, courtesy of Celadon Books. Thank you so much. Check the links in my description below so that you can sign up and enter my free book giveaways. And make sure you sign up today, as the October 2021 book giveaway winner will be selected on October the 31st, 2021 for the opportunity to win a copy of Love People, Use Things. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you found a wonderful book that will help support you in living a simple life. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite book was, or which one you're the most interested in starting with. And if you've got any simple living topics that you would like me to address and feature in future videos, I'll do my best. I always love hearing from you. And here are 2 more videos right here that you might enjoy watching next, both on books that explore stories where the characters are learning to create a life filled with what matters most to them. I do hope to see you again soon. You are my everybody.